TFT is a very nuanced game, and because of that, any advice I can give tends to exist in a very specific vacuum or in a very specific scenario. It's very impossible to just say, oh, Celestial Blessing is always good, or hey, Giant Slayer is a great item to make. There tends to be times when that's really good or when they're very bad, and that can make guides on TFT kind of hard to make without feeling like you're leaving out so much context. Something that's really helped me grow as a TFT player is actually editing my own videos, because I watch over my games and I can think about what worked and what didn't. And I think that I get way more value out of editing my own videos, especially like VOD content, than probably most people get watching those videos. And even though just posting VODs can feel like so much easier to post, I really don't like them. I don't like making those, and I want to make videos that I think actually help people. And even a lot of my early videos were talking about what happened in specific games, though I kind of pitched them as like reviews over an entire comp. But really, I think that the value in those videos was explaining kind of the nuance, and I think nuance is really important to learning how to play TFT as a whole. So going forward, I really want to make a lot of content that is VOD reviews and talking over games and explaining kind of what's going on. However, I think that like today's video is going to be over Talon. I don't think that necessarily you need to play Talon in order to understand all of the information that's coming across in this video. I think you can probably, even as maybe someone who's playing against Talon, learn some things, or maybe even understand some of the items a little bit better and how they work together. I want all of my videos to have maybe a semblance of value to, even if you don't play the comp that I'm specifically talking about that day. And I don't know, that's something I've been thinking about a lot recently, and I thought I would let the audience know. I really appreciate you guys, and I want you to know where my head's at. Now today we're going to be going over a game of Talon that I played back when I was still Diamond 2. I am Masters now, so that's kind of cool. Now with Talon, I do typically like to start Glove. I personally think best in slot is Infinity Edge, QSS, and then probably actually any damage item. I don't think Rapid Fire Cannon is that great. I think Titan's Resolve is actually really good. I think you can actually even go Rabadon's Death Cap, or you can even go Hextech Gunblade. I think those are all great options. I think Rapid Fire Cannon can work, but I don't think it's the greatest item on him. Actually, also Knight's Edge is also a really great item on him. It just helps people stop attacking him at 17% health, which makes him a way better assassin. Now for our first augment, we're offered Built Diff, First Aid, and Phony Frontline. I choose First Aid specifically because I do really like Hextech Gunblade on him. I think it's a great item, especially because once you get like a Leona 3 or really a strong frontline, he just heals them a lot, and then your opponents are never able to destroy your frontline, so they never like retarget towards your Talon. And I think that's infinitely valuable, as well as it gives him a little bit more ability power, and he heals himself too in case he does get targeted by anyone, because it does proc based off of that true damage. Now we did get really lucky getting a VIP Talon almost instantly, as well as a Syndra in our shop. And while yes, it can be good to get lucky while playing a game, ultimately, like, the reason that you watch videos like this is so that when that does happen, you are able to capitalize on getting that lucky. If you don't know how to play Talon, if a VIP Talon shows up at your shop at 1-4, then you can't really do anything. So I think this is still valuable. But essentially, as soon as we're able to get like probably a Brand, or if we high roll a Leona, we're going to be able to throw in Debonair, and we're going to have our Talon doing true damage from day one. Now we do at this point have 2 gloves and a large rod, so we really just need 2 swords and a cloak to get us our Infinity Edge, our Quicksilver Sash, and our Gunblade. After that, it's almost entirely tank items on Leona, and that's all we have to worry about. Here at 2-1, I probably should have pre-leveled, honestly, just to get the chances at a Leona potentially, or even a Blitzcrank to get our 2 bodyguard in. I don't think we're ever really worried about our 1-star units. It honestly would give us a better chance at 2 stars as well, but I think we do win this. Kind of like that bleed damage on a Talon, especially early. It just does so much damage, and Syndra is able to just keep everyone away from her for so long that it doesn't matter. We do find a Brand in our shop, which would give us the VIP Talon bleed. Is it worth getting rid of our Econ right here in order to get it? I would say yeah, in order to keep that win streak. I think we can win streak really hard early off of a Talon VIP, absolutely. Especially we have a Poppy in our shop, so if we go 5 early as well, we can get in that 2 bodyguard. We don't do it. This is definitely greeting on my half. I do grab the Poppy instead of what's his name, which ends up to bite us in the butt. We lose to 3 Yordles. Admittedly, Gnar's really strong. He gains a lot of health off of his first cast, which is kind of broken early on. It gives him an extra like 1,000 health or something like that, or maybe it's 500. But since we did lose it and we naturally level up, I decided that I cared way more about maybe trying to grief a little bit of health. The lobby's all really close in health, so I figure if I tank this one really hard. I won't lose too much health. I'll still probably be plus 90, but I'll get way better odds on my proper items. We do end up going down to 88, but we're second pick now instead of being probably last pick. Really hoping for a sword or a cloak. Do I go for the cloak? What the fuck? Oh no, I grabbed the bow. That's bad. Okay, so in a moment of confusion, I grabbed a bow. I think at this time I was still playing a lot of rapid fire cannon, which you can do. It's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I think with this early on, especially with having first aid, I think going gunblade would have been infinitely more value. But rapid fire cannon still not terrible. We get wrecked by a Lucian with back foot because of course Lucian is disgusting. I hate that unit so much. And we lose the next couple rounds going into Krugs. I did this just for econ. The whole point of Talon is going 6 and then just rolling down to 3-star everything. Get yourself a Leona, then you go up to level 7 and you try and get 3-star Leona and 3-star Echo. Now we do get another glove off of Krugs, which is not helpful to us at all, I don't think. We maybe could have made a shroud for Echo. So we were fortunate into a sword, and you can see, yeah, I definitely was going for IE rapid fire cannon. This is probably why I was still diamond. I also leveled to put in a Twitch, which is not necessary. Okay, actually, I'm really hating this game. I did not play this correctly at all, I don't think. I was probably just scared about losing a lot of health. We still have 1-star Talon, so maybe it's not too bad. But we do high roll a Leona, so we're able to get rid of our brand pretty early, which is always nice. As well as we got our 2-star Talon. It's always good if you can get the 2-star Talon, the first 2-star Talon that has items to be VIP. If you can't, that sucks. Something that I've actually done recently is maybe put the items on a secondary assassin instead of putting on Talon, because then when you're rolling for your 3-star Talon, whenever you get the VIP one, you can instantly throw it in. You don't have to wait till you're 3-star. I think that's also very valuable, but then it does mean that your items aren't on a Talon, but your Talon wasn't doing true damage at that point anyways, so maybe having your damage items on a Nocturne is not that terrible. It can be okay. For our second augment, we're offered Debonair Heart, Meditation, and Disintegrator. I think here it's either Meditation or Debonair Heart. We're not really a high attack speed comp, and almost everything values on everything balanced on Talon. Watching this back, I think it's definitely Debonair Heart, because once you go level 7, you can throw in 5 Debonair. You'll have 2 Assassins, 2 Bodyguards, and 2 Scholar. Here I do take Meditation. I think my thinking behind this was then Syndra and Zyra are going to cast so much more infinitely because I'm not going to put items on them. But I don't think their cast is that valuable. I think you'll maybe get 1 extra Syndra cast and maybe 1 extra Zyra cast, whereas you could have had more health on your Leona and more damage on every Debonair unit, including Talon, which is where all of your damage is coming from in the first place. So I do think that's a misplay. I think it could have been better, but it is what it is. Now you can see against this Yordle comp, I think we've kind of got the positioning going pretty well. Our comp is still a little bit scuffed. We would have done a little bit better if we had our Quicksilver Sash on our Talon. We don't have that yet, so he's getting a little bit of knocked up from Lulu, as well as he's just kind of like he's not as fast. It does give you a little bit of attack speed, but as well as we don't have a Blitzcrank that was able to pull that Lulu and kind of keep our team in the back, because they would all turn around and target that Lulu, which would then cause their entire team to have to walk up in order to attack our Leona. I think if we had Blitzcrank and Quicksilver Sash, that fight was even easily won. In fact, it actually probably could have been won just with the Blitzcrank. Now here, I've still got my mind clearly on bows because of rapid fire cannon, but I do think another great item is yes, grabbing the cloak. Now I did make a mistake by putting a bow on Talon, I do believe, but I made the mistake and now I've got to deal with it, which means I'm not gonna then put on a gunblade for him just because of getting I'm not going to make a gunblade on of him to get value out of this med kit, because like I said, he would get stunned infinitely if he didn't have this Quicksilver Sash on him for the first like half the combat or the first 15 seconds. So we're doing the best that we can. Ideally, this bow would not be here and we'd be using this rod instead. But once you fuck up, you still have to go with the right decision, which is making a Quicksilver Sash on him. It's just a infinitely valuable item. Most of Talon is then positioning, making sure that you're able to get your Talon on the enemy carries early, or at least keep them away from getting instantly damaged by everybody. So even right here where we landed on the left side of the map, he's not directly targeted because we've got the Leona in a good position, pulls everyone up as well, and Talon's able to come in and kill everybody. And now we're slowly starting to work our way out of 8th place. We're level 6, so we're just going to keep slow rolling. We do hit the Leona 2, which is going to give us infinite value. The only thing that we're really stressing about right now is we really want Blitzcrank and Echo. Echo is supposed to be our second assassin. He's really good because he can give you Frozen Heart, just an amazing item, as well as Morello's, which can slow burn the rest of the team. Something I'm kind of thinking of right now is I don't know if you actually need Morello's on him. I think Frozen Heart, yes, Frozen Heart's amazing. But I think Morello's, I think you would actually just rather put tank items on your Leona, just because you want her to live as long as possible. Most of these fights aren't going to last super long anyways, so I don't think you'll actually get a lot of that burn off. I'm just thinking out loud with a Blitzcrank, which we do get a Blitzcrank. And yeah, now we just slow roll for all of our 2 cost, 3 cost, 3 stars. Ideally, you want to 3-star everyone in this comp right now. We do slam the rod onto an Echo, hoping that it can just scrap into a Morello's if we ever get the chance, which we do get a belt and we slam a Morello's. And we also got our second belt. And we also got our second bow, and so we can make our RFC on Talon. And now we're just going to slow roll for the rest of our units. And this is essentially our comp. Based off of whatever our third augment is, we can either go 7 and just like 3-star our Leona and our Echo, or we can go level 8 and try and get in 4 assassin. 4 assassin or 5 debonair, whichever one's more important to the comp at that point. We were really lucky to get our first Talon 2 in order to be a VIP Talon. That's not always the case, and it can turn out very bad if he's not. I don't know why we're holding on to these 2 Nocturnes. Probably because I was thinking about going 8 and throwing in 4 assassin, because you will need a 1-cost assassin anyways. I don't think it's necessary. I think it just wastes bench space and you should get rid of it. We're now sitting on 5 Talons, so we're most of the way there. Now we win streak all the way up to our next carousel. Nothing super obvious that we're looking for, mostly just tank items. And a $4 chain vest would be really nice. I think that's what I end up going for. Yeah, everyone's gonna go for the Galio, but you can't complain about a $4 chain vest, especially because it's gonna give us 2 more rolls. Still just looking for 3 stars. We're rocking a 1-star Blitzcrank right now. Blitzcrank was pretty contested, so it does make sense. And yeah, just slam that item on Leona. I got my Leona frontline right now. Don't do that. You can backline Leona and Blitzcrank, and just make sure you're scouting to know which side you're supposed to be putting your Talon on. That guy's got a Jinx too, which is kind of scary, but we actually, because of Blitzcrank, get a really quick tap on him. And I think that true damage bleed is just gonna kill her. Oh yeah, no, we definitely lose this. That's so bad. Jinx 2 with full items. Oh, that's actually really scary. She must have done a lot of damage. For third augment, we have Disintegrator, Luden's Echo, or Woodland Trinket. I don't think it's ever Woodland Trinket. So we go for Disintegrator. I know we didn't go for it earlier. We didn't have any really good options there. Please tell me I don't sell this Blitzcrank. Why didn't I sell? Get rid of the Nocturne. We don't need Nocturne. This is what I mean by Nocturne. I just sold a Syndra instead of a Nocturne that we don't need. And we would be 1 Syndra closer to being 3-star. We are 2 Talons off, which is really nice, as well as only 3 Leonas off of Leona 3. And I put Talon kind of in the middle here just because I couldn't tell where in the lobby a lot of people were going to be at, and I thought in the middle would be his best chance at really getting his hands on any of the main carries. I think at this point I just gave up on my other 2 costs, and I kept holding on to this Nocturne. I really wanted to go 8 back at the time. I do think it's better to stay 7 and just make sure you get everything 3-star, but you know, we all make mistakes. And here I kind of just go hell for leather looking for my 3-star units. I'm 1 away from Talon and I'm 1 away from Leona, so I wasn't too worried about it. And I level up just to like re-strengthen our board. I know I said I should have like sold this Nocturne, but I had it, so I mean, now we might as well just keep it and use it. It also spikes our board because now that's another assassin 2 on our board. And it actually has its own CC, which is, you know, really good. You can't complain. I really like Nocturne as a unit. It makes so many carries just not play the game for a while. And he does a little bit of damage. And we're actually seeing a lot of good work go to that meditation. Our Zyras and our Syndras are actually casting a decent amount, but we're stage 5. We're not going to get any more item components. So I make the chain vest on Leona into a Frozen Heart, as well as put the remaining tier on Echo, just so I can probably scrap it to a Frozen Heart or some other type of tier item. Another Hands of Justice wouldn't be too bad. Ice Cream Cone's not horrible either. And now our Talon 3 is just doing so much bleed, especially with that extra speed from the RFC, that I think we do beat this Cho'Gath, yeah. And then you're just gonna go level 7, or even, I think we actually probably just go up to level 8. And we really want a 3-star Leona, especially since she doesn't have items on her, so we want that extra health. Or honestly, another thing that we could do here is we could take out the second Nocturne and put in the second Leona too. And that is also not a bad idea. Cornering our Talon in order to try and get this Jinx early because the Blitz pulls the Seraphine. And so yeah, we get actually a couple of really great stacks because of the Nocturne being able to stun her. And I think we actually just knocked this guy out of the game at this point. We're win streaking first place, so we are going to go last on this, what, 6th carousel? Still just want tank items, so there's nothing great here, especially because the locket got taken. Yeah, an Infinity Edge, because then we can just force level 8, put in a 4th assassin, who's going to be our Kha'Zix. And Kha'Zix really likes Infinity Edge. He already has so much damage, but because we're going for Kha'Zix, we're not going to waste any of our money going for his Echo 3. We're just going to invest all our money for Kha'Zix. Now, this is a Warwick player with Rageblade and Anima Visage, or whatever like the healing one is. I hate that one, but I mean it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. This was his clone, but you can't outbleed him, man. We do get 2 Kha'Zix in our shop, which is very lucky, and we level up to throw him in, and then we just roll for our Kha'Zix 2-star, which we don't hit, but it's going to be okay because I don't think we're scared of anyone in the lobby. Off of Dragon, we get a Titan's Resolve, and we actually land a Kha'Zix 2 as well. Now, Titan's Resolve would be good on either Kha'Zix or Leona. It would be good on Leona because it would allow her to live a bit longer. I mean, same for Kha'Zix, but I don't think we need to really put it on Kha'Zix. And it doesn't add too much damage to him, especially because he doesn't attack very quickly, and he doesn't really get targeted too much either. And once he gets targeted, he's pretty much dead. So the item doesn't really help him much. Here, we're kind of centering our Talon, mostly because we don't want to get stuck in the corner, especially on these challenger players. The hope is to kill the Draven really quickly, as well as kill the Warwick really quickly. I don't think he's really getting too much damage off of his Tryndamere, so I wasn't really scared of it at all. Challengers are kind of bad this patch, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think there's any really good challengers. And spoiler alert, in our final fight against this challenger player, we win. It's very unfortunate that he was one off of Warwick 3, but I don't even think Warwick 3 would have saved him. We did have a lot of CC in our comp, as well as he just did not have any like Quicksilver Sash, which is also kind of imperative to challenger comps, is you need to not be able to be stopped. And the meditation was kind of able to really help. It just meant that we were not able to put any items on our Syndras or our Zyras, which is fine actually, because they're not supposed to be our damage dealers. They're entirely there for CC, which is exactly what they did. I think like those Zyras were casting like 3 times a turn. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you would hit that like button, that would be very nice. It really helps me out in like the YouTube algorithm and all that kind of stuff. And I hope these videos are really helpful to you in the future. As always, I have been Murder Muffin. You guys have been amazing, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.